who's back. I heard a lot of people, by a lot I mean like 5, wanted me to do this again. And there's a reason I didn't do this. I haven't done this in a long time. Well, there's a few reasons. And I've made a list here. So, the reasons I haven't made a vidcast in months. My dog ran away, my grandma died, I had jury duty, I was abducted by aliens, my foot fell asleep, I had amnesia, I was lost in the Andes Mountains, I bumped my head and suddenly thought I was a llama, and you know llamas don't webcast. I was busy running for president. It didn't work, sorry, I tried. I was in rehab, I toured with the Stones, I was interning with Bill Gates, that's how I got my laptop. I saved the world, twice. I was in the Tour de France, and got second place because of that new guy. I think he was cheating, so, you know. I was building a house, maybe? Believe that? My camera exploded. Yes, I said exploded. My computer melted. I developed leprosy. I was busy playing bass in an Air Supply tribute band. I was hunting for Bigfoot. I was climbing the stairway to heaven. I met Dr. Strangelove and learned how to love the bomb. I met Mr. Smith and we went to Washington. My spidey senses were tingling, and I went to see the doctor about it. I got permanently 404'd. For the number one reason why I missed so many weeks of vidcasts, there was a cheese incident. I don't want to talk about it. Now, obviously, those were fake. That was my sad attempt at entertaining you guys, because I want to make these better. The only thing I've gotten positive response about is when I dance with a hanger. And I do not want to be the guy on the internet who dances with a hanger. I want to be the guy who dances with 2 hangers. Anyway, the real reason I haven't made a video in a long time was pretty simple. Laziness, procrastination, laziness, a huge desire to sleep, laziness. I wanted to increase the demand. If I took it away from you guys, you'd beg for another one. And that kind of worked, but only from the people that watched it anyway. So I am here again, trying this again. So here we are. Okay. I'm going to start off with a very strong subject. The 2008 election. It's only the beginning of 2007, but we already have two possible new presidents. I meant to say 3. My fingers are telling me, my fingers are actually saying the right number here. There's 3 on the Democratic side. I have no idea. Is anybody from the Republican side? They're not going to say it until the end of the term. Hillary Clinton would make the first woman president. Barack Obama would make the first black president. And Bill Richardson, despite the name, would be the first Hispanic president. So, at least on the Democratic side, or the Democratic Party side, we're looking at a whole new first of presidents. Gotta wait to see who the Republican candidates are. I'm not going to talk about this much because I'm not hatred. It's becoming more in my life. But because of my disinterest in politics, I want to talk about something a lot more meaningful, a lot more important in my life. And when I think meaningful and important, I think Paris Hilton. Just kidding, guys. Yeah, that's it. Now, I know I just said I wanted to steer clear of the controversial. Well, but I'm totally ignoring that. I'm just going to something more controversial that I know more about. And this topic has been talked about more often on the internet than just about anything. It's the continued rivalry, the 20-year rivalry between the Apple, Macintosh, iMac, whatever you want to call it, and the PC, Microsoft, all that. I'm going to try to stay objective and unbiased, despite the fact of me being a complete Microsoft slave boy monkey. I have a list here, yes, the list is back, of the pros and cons of both systems. With PCs, this is somewhat opinionated, sorry, don't kill me on it. I find that the PCs are easier to use, they're a lot cheaper to buy, they seem to be simpler to me. There's a lot more out there, they're more common, which means it's easier to update software. That more people sell software for Windows-based operating systems than they do for Macs. It's catching up, but it's still that way. It's sometimes buggy, but there's always updates. I personally don't find many problems with my Windows system. If you know how to use it, you know how to use it. I guess that's what the Macs are saying too, but I don't know, I just find it's a lot more user-friendly. A downside is that usually it doesn't come with a whole lot of extras, not a lot of integration. I do enjoy the fact with iMacs, those laptops, that they have built-in cameras for like webcamming and all that sort of thing. That's kind of cool. It's compared to forking out $40 for the add-on of a Windows camera. But that adds to a con for the Macs. That adds to price. In a general sense, Macintosh computers tend to be a lot more expensive. But what you get for the more money, a lot more integration. It comes with iMovie, which is a lot better of a movie maker than Windows Movie Maker is. It's a lot less basic. You can do a lot more stuff with it. It comes with iMovie, it comes with all those other programs, it comes with that built-in camera. It looks a lot nicer too. A standard Mac versus a standard Microsoft PC, Windows PC, the casing is always prettier. It's more aesthetically pleasing. That's completely superficial, but that's a pro. It's also Macintosh. They're known to have very strong graphics capabilities. Most graphic artists and such, they use Macintosh. But from what I use out of it, my Windows PC seems to be fine enough. There's some compatibility issues with Macs. I don't know if it's that in my head, I can't remember. There's sometimes Microsoft Word files, and Apples use Word now. There's Microsoft Word for Apples. I can save a Word file on my PC here, put it on my USB flash drive, load it up to a Macintosh, and it won't read it at all. It doesn't work. And so there's some major compatibility issues from my experiences. I know I'm just inviting Mac lovers to just kill me over this, but I wanted to talk about this. And what I said before about PCs being there's so many of them, they're more popular, they're more easier to find. They're harder to find software for. A lot nowadays, it's getting to the point where you can find it, but it's never been as simple. It's a lot easier to go to Best Buy and look through the 2 or 3 aisles of PC software, and you know you'll be fine. Macs, it's just difficult to find it. And along those lines, the attractive casing of Macs, it's all integrated, it's all one piece, like the iMacs, all that stuff. It's all in one system. It's not like the monitor here, the tower next to it, keyboard's separate anyway, but the whole CPU, the whole computer mechanism is in there. That's a lot harder to upgrade hardware. Like Microsoft PCs, it's so much easier. Just if you need a new port, buy a PCI slot, slip it in there, you're almost good to go. It's plug and play. I don't see that with any Apple systems. So that's my little rant comparison about that. I'm still not going to say, okay, personally, I like Windows more. Because there's millions of people that use Apples, especially nowadays. And I want to know what makes it appealing. I think it all comes down to whichever one you started with. If you were about 7, your family got their first family computer. If it was a Windows PC, chances are you're still using them. If it was a Mac, same thing. You're using Macs now. What is the attractiveness of your personal operating system? Why do you like it and don't want to use the other ones? So that's my question to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I tried to keep it more organized. I think it's the most organized one I've ever had. So enjoy it while it lasts. I don't know when the next one is going to be. You guys know I plan this to be once a week. It's obviously not like that. It's more like twice a month. If you really want to see number 9, force it down my throat. And that's my time. Later. Oh yeah. I got a remote control. Click.